Rocket Raccoon is Dr. Doom's only hope. It begins with thunder cracking over the jagged silhouette of Castle Doom, perched like a predator in the heart of Latveria. Rain lashes the ancient stones, but within, genius brews. A voice, sharp, calculating, sovereign, echoes in the darkness.
Yes, the structural lattice must be made much more elegant and subtle.
Far beneath the fortress, a monstrous machine pulses with ominous light. Pipes hum, gears spin, and at its core stands a solitary figure draped in green and iron.
It will be necessary to adjust the chronospatial filaments on a molecular level.
With a flick of his gauntlet, Doom fires a blast, kerblam! Testing some intricate mechanism that fizzles, sparks, and spectacularly fails.
For another, this would be a nearly impossible challenge. But not for...
Zzzt, crackle! Foob! The device explodes in smoke. Doom sighs, not with defeat, but with disdain.
Doombot 279, come forth.
The echo of metallic feet answers.
It seems we have a guest. Continue the work. I shall return.
Yes, master.
Through cold stone halls, Doom strides with regal wrath, lightning flaring behind him. His voice returns to that earlier thought.
Yes, the structural lattice must be made much more elegant and subtle.
At the towering entrance, he finds... himself? Number A, much smaller version. A soaked, grumbling raccoon in armor.
Yo, down here! There was no place nearby to land my ship, so I had to land way the hell away and freaking walk.
Doom stares, silent.
I'm cold. I'm tired. You have no idea how long it takes to drive for like this. You gonna let me in? Or should I take my skills somewhere warm, dry? Am I getting through to you here?
Slam! The doors fling open.
So why'd you want to see me? Why here? And why so last minute like this?
It is a long story.
Yeah, well, with you, what isn't?
It will be necessary to adjust the chronospatial filaments on a molecular level.
You got a ventriloquist dummy in the next room?
Doom doesn't flinch.
I will explain over dinner.
They enter the dining hall. Rocket gawks. A table overflowing with every imaginable delicacy.
If there's any cuisine missing from my table, it doesn't exist.
Mama, buy me that.
20 minutes later...
And I gotta be honest. After you and I swapped bodies, Guardians weren't thrilled. But finding someone almost as smart as I am, well...
The books you are sitting on.
Yeah, explains why the covers are so soft and comfy. They mold right to my ass.
It is time to know why you have been summoned.
Sorry, you were saying.
It is, as I said, a long story.
Swell.
Visions of Doom's past flood the scene. A mother murdered by Mephisto. A father who died shielding his son from the cold. A boy running from injustice, betrayed by royalty. Scarred in mind, disfigured in face. Forged in flame and fury. Dr. Doom was born.
The mask I wear hides a face of rage and sorrow that I can never remove.
His fury became fuel. Battles waged against heroes. Vengeance sought through science and sorcery. Every act of defiance, every theft of power, every clash with purity, meant to correct a broken world. But it broke him instead.
I had always, only ever been on the wrong side of history. With that knowledge came two things: a desire to do better and a question.
What's the question?
Why?
You told me why.
Number, I told you why.
I don't care.
The two argue in a chaotic spiral of whys and whats, like an Abbott and Costello skit gone galactic.
Okay, let's try this again.
1 hour and 7 minutes later.
You're saying the question is, why did all this terrible stuff happen to you? And why did all the other terrible stuff happen to other people because of you?
Yes. Come with me.
They walk toward a colossal machine.
Many years ago, I constructed a time platform. But now, I must go farther than I have ever gone before. This device can go where time itself could not. If you are all that I think you are, tell me the problem I'm describing.
And just like that, the fate of the past and the redemption of Dr. Doom hinges on the unlikeliest of heroes, a trash-talking, tech-savvy raccoon. If you thought Dr. Doom wanted to rule the world, think bigger. Because now, he's aiming to rewrite existence itself.
If you can already go back and forth in time, then the only place you couldn't go is where time doesn't apply.
That place before time, before space, before the Big Bang?
You want to go back before the Big Bang. Why?
Exactly. Science told us how the universe began, but not why. That's what I seek.
So where do I come in?
I need a genius to match my sorcery. You have that genius. I saw it when we switched bodies.
Rocket tries to joke, but Doom's lonely truth seeps through.
There has to be somebody you can call, a friend.
A ruler has no friends, only users and enemies.
So, no friends then?
No friends at all.
13 days. That's how long they had. Day 1. Rocket calls Doom's science a rat's nest. Day 2. Rocket presses the wrong button. Doom definitely warned him. Day 3 to 5. Rocket builds, rewires, climbs, calculates. Then, Rocket. I figured it out.
You were stuck because you didn't have me.
I can have you killed with a gesture.
What kind of gesture?
Let it be a surprise. Continue.
Rocket explains, you don't move through time, you move through entropy. Time flows because the universe decays. But before the Big Bang, there was no decay. So the solution?
We reverse entropy to the moment before the bang. And then, we lower it even further, to minus, past zero. That's how we get before creation.
Once past the edge of entropy, we'll be everywhere and nowhere, right where we need to be.
Rocket pats Doom on the shoulder. Doom glares.
Never do that again.
Thor said you liked it.
He lied. Very well. Rabbit.
Day 6 to 13. They run tests, cast spells, eat, bicker. Rocket tries to teach Doom about crypto. Doom tries to stay sane, but the machine nears completion.
Yo, Doc, we're just about good to go.
Doom begins the ritual.
I conjure and command thee. By my blood you shall submit.
Flames roar, circuits scream, and the cube of power awakens with a shoom.
The ritual is complete. We have our energy source, derived from the balance of life and death. Now we may depart.
Inside the ship, Doom steadies the controls.
Yo, what's that?
A piece of my soul made manifest.
Soul pain, huh? Was that the screaming I heard last night?
Yes. No more silence. Now, we make noise.
The engines roar. Time bends.
Wait, I was gonna go to the bathroom before we...
Too late.
Badoom! They're hurtling backward through time.
Quantum chronometer looks good. Almost at the start of everything. But why hasn't anyone else tried this?
They have.
Then why haven't I heard about it?
Because they never returned.
And then,
I imagine it has something to do with them. Whenever one enters regions of creation, dark forces arrive to deal with such violations.
tentacled horrors rise from the void, creatures born from the boundary of existence itself.
Swell. So what are we gonna do?
They came face to face with the darkness between creation, the nightmare things meant to stop anyone from reaching the beginning. But Doom? He didn't hesitate.
Engage the enemy.
You built weapons into this?
I build weapons into everything. That is why I am Doom.
He presses the command.
Computer, eliminate targets.
Confirmed. The void lights up in blue fury. Creatures of the abyss are incinerated in beams of unrelenting light.
That was easy. Too easy.
They stayed away until we locked temporal trajectories. They didn't want to get caught in the backwash.
What backwash?
The weight of my past, pulling us deeper.
And deeper they go, spiraling through a vortex of Doom's memories, regrets, triumphs, sins. A tunnel of comics, of life and loss, winding backward through every incarnation, every failure, every dream.
Eek!
They reach it, the end of time, or maybe the beginning. Doom watches fragments of a life never lived. His father dying to save him, his mother nurturing his genius, praising a mask he made as a child.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
And just like that, the pain floods back.
Accelerate trajectory. I wish to see no more of this.
I don't think we have much choice.
The universe is gone. Nothing is left but light.
We've reached the Big Bang, the birth of the universe. Can we just take a moment to...
Number entropy. -1. Now.
The timeline shatters. The impossible becomes real.
What the hell is
Darkness. They arrive before everything.
Here we are. Before time. Before anything.
We wait. For revelation. For an answer.
And then it appears. An entity of clay and void with no form and no name.
Who are you? What are you? Are you alone?
I was, I am. I have always been. I have never been. Until I was not.
We seek knowledge, understanding.
I do not know what those are.
You gotta remember, those ideas didn't exist before the universe.
Then, how can I learn the purpose? I've chased it my entire life. How can I understand why?
Purpose. Why? Here. It is here. It reaches for the soul Crystal Doom used to power their journey.
No! Don't touch that! It has pieces of his soul.
Curiosity, hunger, desire, the desire to understand, the desire to answer. Why? What is the purpose of a thing that is about to be called? The universe. what is to be the purpose of the universe. And then it grows, expands, rises into the unknown, voice deepening, eyes glowing. The purpose you have always known, the curiosity you chased, the pain you endured, the understanding that brought you here. The purpose of the universe, one is to understand. And with that, everything begins, evolving through pain and uncertainty until that purpose is finally defined and understood and made manifest. Until the day the question is finally answered, and on that day, we begin again.
The light switch is over there, Doug. Wow, that was... Look, nothing personal, but I really need to use the little raccoon's room. Like, now.
1 hour and 3 flushes later.
A Doombot is ready to take you back to your ship.
That's it. We're done.
I appreciate your assistance.
Do you understand what just happened? We answered the biggest question in the history of everything. The universe was created in your image. All your pain, your suffering, your need to know why. That's what shaped the only person who could ask the right question at the right time to create everything. Don't you have anything to say about it?
Doom stands silent for a moment. A tear slips from the eye behind the mask.
Yes.
The answer I received is not the one I went looking to find, but it is the answer I should have expected.
For as you say, the universe was created in my image.
As Rocket walks off into the rain,
And we all have our masks to wear.